Well, I thought I'd give an update on the Luigi Mangione case. The hat is for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Go Buckeyes. I hope they win today. One other correction I need to make. I misspoke when I said Lamborghinis were made in the United States. I know they're made in Italy. I was comparing Luigi Mangione's lawyers as a high-performing lawyer. Lamborghinis are a high-performing car. All right, now, this is the complaint that the federal government has filed against the Luigi Mangione, okay? And it has 4 counts to it. And basically, they're charging him with using stalking and traveling in interstate commerce, stalking and the use of interstate facilities, murder through the use of a firearm, and a firearm offense. I could give you the sections, but they're really not that important. Now, murder in the federal government is premeditated murder. They don't have the death spec in that complaint. That can only come through a grand jury. So now that they filed a formal document, a complaint, remember, 2 ways you can get into the federal court: through a complaint, through an indictment. The government did it through a complaint. They lay out what the crimes are, and then it has about 9 pages of facts. So 2 things are going to happen now. They're going to have what's called a detention hearing. The government moved to detain Luigi Mangione until they have a detention hearing. That usually occurs within 3 to 5 days, and they have a preliminary hearing at the time of the detention hearing. Now, since they brought it in a complaint, a preliminary hearing is a hearing to determine 2 things. 1, is there probable cause to believe that a crime was committed? And 2, is there probable cause to believe that the person that they have charged committed that crime? Very low standard. I think they've laid out enough facts in the affidavit or in the complaint for probable cause. Now, this gets a little hairy, but this is what the law is. 18 United States Code Section 3142 lays out whether someone's going to get out pending trial. Luigi Mangione will not be released pending trial. Under no set of circumstances will he be released. The government is going to hold him pending trial. Trial in the federal court is 75 days. There's no way his lawyers, I think, could be ready for trial. 75 days. So I look to them to try to continue the case. They may hold a preliminary hearing hoping to get more information. They may not. But I doubt that they'll hold a detention hearing. Now, you were asking, why doesn't he get bail? This is messed up logic, but it's the logic of the United States Supreme Court. The 8th Amendment to the United States Constitution states that no unreasonable bonds shall be requested. Now, the United States Supreme Court said, just because the 8th Amendment says no unreasonable bonds, that doesn't mean you can have no bond. Does that make sense? No, but that's the way they ruled. That's the way the law is. And so they can hold Luigi Mangione in custody pending trial. And any time in this country, there's 500,000 people in federal pretrial custody. Okay, we don't have an under-incarceration problem in this country. We have an over-incarceration problem in this country. So he's going to have a detention hearing, and then he's going to have a preliminary hearing, and then what will happen is they bind it over to the grand jury in the Southern District of New York. I look for that grand jury to return an indictment. That is when we'll know whether or not the government is seeking the death penalty. They have to put a specification on that indictment. But the federal government does have the death penalty. And that really raises the stakes in poker and really puts everything under scrutiny. Because if the government's going to use their ultimate punishment, everything has to be done correctly. T's crossed, I's dotted, everything done. I don't know if they're going to move forward, but they might. I can't make a prediction at this time. So that's the latest. He's going to have a detention hearing, and he's going to have a preliminary hearing, and then he's going to get bound over to the grand jury, and you'll have to await its proceeding. Quick update on the P. Diddy. People are going, why haven't you heard too much? Oh, the judge really clamped down on the lawyers. That's why you're not reading any more stories. If you want to know what's going on in the P. Diddy case, you're going to have to go on the ECF system, which is the electronic filing system for the federal court. And you're going to have to look through the pleadings. And I did that. And this judge has clamped down hard on both parties. So that's why you're not reading too much in the press. And one thing you never want to do in life, listen to me very carefully, is mess with a federal judge. They're one of the most powerful government officials in the United States. You don't think so? They got a lifetime appointment. The only way they can be removed from their job is they have to be impeached by Congress. They are demigods. They're semi-gods. They're that powerful. And people don't realize how powerful federal judges are. Trust me, federal judges are very powerful. Don't mess with a federal judge.